Let this bar represent $1,000 a month. This is what $10,000 a month would look like. And this is what $100,000 a month would look like. Over the past 10 years, I am part of businesses that make over 50 times that number a month. And then there is you. Little to no income, no saving, can't pay your car bill, and you're probably in debt, trying to keep up the life that you lived during the pandemic. And to make it worse, you're in the worst shape of your life. You have no interest from women around you and continue to escape from your reality by playing video games or doom scrolling on social media. But what if I told you that you can get out of this situation and that I started from an even worse position? You see, my family's from Honduras, one of the poorest countries in Latin America. All the odds were stacked against me for making a name for myself. And yet here I am, 2 billion views and enough subscribers to make me larger than 45% of the world's countries. That didn't come from luck. No, it came from specific methods that I have refined again and again over the last 10 years. And I'm going to give you everything that I've learned in this one video. Some might think that this is some motivational video full of fluff. You would be wrong, because this video comes with a warning so tough that the majority of you would rather go back to sitting in credit card debt, student loan, and your old job than to ever attempt to get to this point. But for those of you that have what it takes, this video is for you, because my journey to becoming a millionaire started with tip number 1, understanding Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is the hierarchy framework that I used when I was younger to know what I needed to prioritize first in order to become successful. If you are between the ages of 15 and 21 and don't know what you want in life, this is where you start. According to Maslow's hierarchy, your first need to prioritize is your physiological needs. You're going to max this out by upgrading your health, your physical environment, and your earning potential. So here are the 5 things that I did. First, what I started to do was take care of my health and build an amazing body. By doing this, I developed discipline, but also created a foundation for everything that was to come. Next, I focused on keeping my physical environment organized. I kept my room spotless, and this helped keep my mind focused and clear on what truly matters. This phenomenon was proven by a study published by Harvard. Then, I grew my earning potential by studying towards a degree and having a full-time job, which both taught me responsibility and time management skills. In fact, in a study published by ResearchGate, found that students that had part-time jobs were more experienced and successful with real-life skills when they graduated university. And finally, I started reducing the amount of debt I had. My parents never knew, but I was only 18 years old with $15,000 worth of debt. I had multiple credit cards maxed out. This was awful for my mental health, something unlike I have never experienced. This is something that you will encounter in your journey, an increase in anxiety and stress that you will need to learn how to mitigate. So, get rid of it early on so you can think clearly. Finally, I slept less to focus on building a side hustle. First, I tried multiple things, which is what caused me to end up in so much debt. What I didn't realize is that it also caused me to be successful, which takes me to number 2. Fail fast. Failing isn't a risk, it's a guarantee. Learn from your failures and then apply quickly. In a study of 776,721 grant applicants, 58,111 business startups, and 170,350 terrorist attacks, they found that winners and losers all failed the same way. The biggest difference from those that were ultimately successful and those that weren't was the time in between each failure. Those that failed fast, with little downtime in between their next attempt, were ultimately successful. The losers would lose because they would wait longer in between each loss before attempting again. So start by realizing everyone that's been successful fails all the time, including myself. At first, it sucks. You will want to quit. But then you start to understand this concept and learn to live with it. And instead you make it a game. How fast can you fail? And how fast can you get up? I'm at a point that I'm okay with that. You need to adopt that mentality. Fail fast. To do this, I want you to test multiple side hustles, multiple ideas and concepts you want to do with the build, measure, learn feedback loop. I talked about this. It comes from the book, The Lean Startup, which you can watch episode 5 if you want to see it more in depth. I personally used this method for a failed soup business I had, a shoe company, and even my own YouTube channel. To become successful, you have to play life in hard mode to get comfortable with burnout, tiredness, and ultimately, constant failure. And then, when you finally hit something good, you will move on to tip number 3. You double down on one thing. The key to failing fast is to hopefully, at some point, hit something called a positive feedback loop. You did an action and the return was positive. This can take thousands of tries, thousands of executions. This is why most fail at this stage. It is hard to be hit with constant failure, no matter how many hours and effort you put into your tries. But I can make you a promise. I can make you a guarantee. Hold on for an indefinite amount of time, and you will get a positive feedback loop. At that point, I want you to cut back on all the steps in my first tip and go all in on that. For me, that was my YouTube channel. In 2016, the channel had around 35,000 subscribers. And so, I quit my job and I made sure to focus on 3 things: my studies, my health, and my channel. By the end of 2016, I had secured over $400,000 in brand deals. By the end of 2017, that number was $1.5 million in brand deals. And for those of you that want to learn more about how I did this, I'll be teaching the most worthy of you in my academy. But I will also be connecting you with the hundreds of brands that have worked with me that are looking for other creators. This drops tomorrow, November 14th at 10 a.m. Eastern. However, don't think that this will come easy, because this value I will only share with the most elite of you watching. Number 4, buy nice things. The first thing I did once I started generating income was buy nice suits, cars, and watches, not understanding 2 secondary effects. The first, it'll motivate you to think bigger and push harder. The second, it's great to network, because now you are around other great men that are within your tax bracket. Business happens by accident here. So you see, during a study conducted at the University of Texas, researchers discovered 2 truths. The first is that what you wear has a direct impact on how others perceive you, with better dressed individuals commanding more respect and admiration. Second thing, it also directly impacts how you feel about yourself, with better dressed individuals feeling more confident, positive, and productive. This has compounded to make me more money than I ever considered. Number 5, move away from everything you know. By staying where you were born, you will live life on easy mode. This will prevent you from developing your growth mindset and your ultimate potential. When I was 26, I moved here to New York, the most expensive city in the world, and quickly, this put me next to one of the strongest influences in becoming successful, and that is proximity. I was now within proximity to the world's highest performing men. I was now competing with them, living with them, eating with them. So, I was as hungry as them, as determined as them. Proximity opens your mind as to what is possible. Once your mind believes it, it can achieve it. So, move away from what you're comfortable with and surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. That isn't all that moving to New York taught me, because while living amongst the world's elite, I learned one more thing. And if you haven't realized it this entire video, success can be broken down into 2 things: what you know and who you know. And I've just given you the keys to both, but it is way more intricate than that. This is what I'm building in our academy, an elite community of men that you will now know, network, eat with, work with, compete with, and information that has taken me decades and millions of dollars to get right. If you want to get past the vetting process, this launches tomorrow, November 14th. It will be limited. If you think you have what it takes, you can sign up below. Boys, see you tomorrow.